Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at three systems consisting of a polish and wax, spray coating slash wax, here, and a detailer, all designed to work with one another and sort of assess just an initial performance of what do you get with just one, or 1+1, or 1+2. And you'll see, I'll have a photo of the hood. It was done on the same red car after I did the polish comparison with Gold Standard. So I used that to polish it off, so we're not looking at cleaning and filling abilities. We've already checked these guys for that in a previous video. So this is what it's going to look like if you're trying to use these whole systems, because I was very excited about this coming out because I really like these, but you know, being able to do some filling and make it like I wanted to use these on like quicker details, but I wanted something as a base layer that they would play with. And clearly, as you'll see, this system is designed with one another, and same with these. One condition is that this requires 24 hours before this, which requires 24 hours before this, which is not really in the spirit of these types of products. These are very consumer-friendly, consumer-focused products. They shouldn't... No consumer is going to wait 24 hours to do that, and I understand that's written on the bottle. It's not a mystery when you buy it if you read the bottle. But I think it's out of the scope, especially for how much performance it has as a baseline. If it's going to last 3 years, then okay, the couple days to apply the whole system is justifiable. But if it's going to last 3 months, maybe 4 months. Some people get more than that, but I don't get more than 3 to 4 months out of Turtle Wax's products in my climate, no matter what. So that's a lot for how little it lasts. But it is nice that they're all play with one another. But because of those conditions, I didn't have enough time to wait the full 24 hours because of weather, and I needed to apply this on a Friday evening, this on a Saturday evening, and then that on a Sunday evening, and I did not have the time to do it. So there's only about a 12 to 15 hour gap between these two, and then I applied this right after to this one to see what would happen. Again, it's not the instructions, so I won't fault it for whatever performance anomalies there are, but it is a condition of this is much harder to use. I applied all of these under the same time frames, and you will see there is a difference between these two and this one when it comes to stacking. So basically that's what we're doing today. We're looking at the stack between Turtle Wax, Sonax, and Meguiars. Now Meguiars is not a ceramic infused, it's more polymer, but overall I think they're the best smelling. There is some good smells here and there, but these are probably the most consistent across their whole line. But we're going to get into the hydrophobic performance, which is a few days after application, and it's not been washed. It's just a rinse with a pressure washer. So forgive me, I didn't have my tripod that day. I forgot it, but I kept it pretty steady. Anyway, here we go. So, as you can see, the Sonax polish is much less hydrophobic than the Turtle Wax and the Meguiars. And we sort of established that in the first video where we looked at these. But once you stack on its coating and its detailer, it's top of the ranks. So this paired with these is a fantastic system when it comes to hydrophobics. And I believe the filling and gloss levels on these two as well is really good. Like, it's not top of the charts, but for what they cost, it is fantastic. The Meguiars system is probably the most consistent between base to detailer as far as hydrophobics, and they're quite decent. And again, they're user friendly. They come in big bottles. The Sonax and Meguiars both come in pretty big bottles. I believe this is 500 mil, so this is a bit bigger than this. And these are 709 versus 750. So still big bottles. Decent rate. These are very cheap. You can find these cheap some places, depending on where you live, but these are probably the cheapest to get your hands on, except for the 3-in-1, which is a little more expensive, but its potency is a little higher than the Sonax, at least from what I can see. The Sonax looks like it's meant to be topped. It's not meant to be just used, but waiting a few hours, you can top it without any qualms. It plays nice. Now getting to the Turtle Wax, you can see that the polish and the coating seem to be doing okay, but then the detailer knocked the spray sealant back down. Because remember, it's polish for the whole section, and then spray coating for the back 2/3, and then detailer on the last third. And I'll put up the photo again a bunch of times so you can see it. But we're stacking this way. So 1 plus 1 plus 2. And once you get this guy on, it does not look as good. And that could be the 24-hour thing. Totally valid, not following the directions on my part. But again, that was my situation. Most people are going to have a similar situation. And I have a nice heated garage, which you can see without any heat on is sitting at 22 degrees. Like, I don't have a lot of anomalies that other people seem to have when it comes to temperatures and situation. I've got a big garage. I can keep it warm, can keep it dry. And even with that many hours in between layers, like waiting and waiting and waiting, like it still couldn't do it. Now, I don't know if that's the detailer just suffering or if that is the lack of cure. But that's 48 hours total wait time before you're done. And then they still want you to probably give it a few hours before it gets wet. So you're talking like you need to have this thing on Friday evening and this on Sunday evening and the full overnight cure. That car is down for the entire weekend, give or take. It can get wet, but you can't wash it. You can't layer any of these things on. So I don't like that about it. Overall, I like these two more. And I like this one because I got a lot more hydrophobics right out of the bat. But when you layer these two guys on, it's insane. They all look pretty good, honestly. Once you've layered them all on, they all look pretty decent. These guys, especially the spray coating on top of this, was very dark. There was a really noticeable line. I couldn't get it on film. I tried, but it looked great. It looked really good. So looks-wise, like this has a lot going for it. And the hydrophobics between these two wasn't too bad. But I think these guys are both a step above. When you get the full system on there with maintaining with the detailers, I would lean this system, I think, is better. I think this detailer never really took off when these came out. And I kind of see why, to be honest. But yeah, that's it for this one. Big things coming down the pipe. But we'll get into that later. Anyway. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.